today, but not on the YouTube. This is the second time, with La Curva. Once on Instagram and then once on YouTube today. But thanks everybody for joining. Giancarlo here, Johnny Rossonero. Obviously, we have Pepe. Oscar couldn't make it, but we have a very special guest, and we're very happy to have Maurizio from the Milan Club Toronto. Maurizio.
Are you kidding me, this guy?
Mr. We're not going to have any comments because he's on the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining us, Maurizio.
Oh, it was a pleasure getting to sit in with you guys, shoot the shit about everything and anything. As your shows have gone on, as I've been watching, it divulges into anything and everything, including including casting couches on occasion.
Well, you don't have one. What do you got? You got your flag back there. You don't got a couch.
I am on the couch.
You're on the couch. But you know what? I'll make a joke that I made when we were offline. But with the way the light is hitting his hair, Maurizio kind of looks like Teo Hernandez, right?
Yeah, without the speed or skill.
Do you have the tattoos?
No.
Oh, the girlfriend with the tattoos?
Oh my God, that was
not in this reality.
she was a bit much. Let's just say.
Yeah.
But now, thanks for joining us, Maurizio. It's great to have you here, and I guess we could just get started. Pep, take it away, man. What did you think of today against Bulgaria? And then, obviously, I know you talked a little bit on Thursday, but if you want to do a kind of recap of the last two games, I'll turn it over.
I expected a little more by them because the opponents weren't really, these great teams, especially when you think about it. We haven't played the tougher team in the group, which is Switzerland. Mm-hmm. Which is sharing the first place with us. But, Northern Ireland was whatever. And they also got beat by the U.S. today, as I saw, Northern Ireland. So you could only say they were whatever team. I mean, the second half of that Thursday game, Italy pretty much was didn't show me what they're supposed to show. It's almost like as they went to sleep until the game was over. I hope they don't really think about doing that in the Euros. And then today I expected more because we all knocked them for having that, going to hibernation that second half. And they showed a little bit against Bulgaria, but nothing that we expected. Like I spoke with Pachi today on Instagram. I said, you know what, this Bulgaria team is not the 1994 team.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so you should not have had.
There's no Stoichkov. There's no Lechkov.
Yeah.
No, Lechkov. Remember Lechkov with the hair, and then everybody used to say, because he always used to score with his head. People used to say he had a metal bar in there, so like a metal piece in that little piece of hair.
And definitely Sofia wasn't Giant Stadium.
Oh, definitely not.
So,
no.
And Baggio wasn't scoring 2 goals today.
I was at that game. That was a great game.
So I mean, listen, we're gonna take the 3 points again, but Mancini does know that this is not what we're looking for the Euros. Hopefully, against Lithuania. against Lithuania should be the slam dunk of a game, although it wasn't Switzerland.
But those are the games. Those are the games that those are the games sometimes, and I hate to say it, but I don't want to jinx anything. That's where we usually disappoint.
Always. Italy's always. But they haven't done that under Mancini. Mancini's actually had a streak like Pashi was saying earlier. Pozzo was having these numbers, and this is to talk about the 30s.
Yeah.
Italy hasn't done this good as far as results-wise in about, I want to say, 80 years. So, it was good to see a breath of fresh air. I mean, compared to what we were used to with, what's his name, with
Ventura?
Ventura, it was good to see.
I still can't believe he was the coach. I don't know how you feel, Maurizio, but I think we all blocked out that period. We'll all block out that period.
I couldn't remember his name this afternoon, actually. I saw the last 20 minutes or so, and I'm like, I was talking to a cousin of mine, and I'm like, I don't remember the other guy's name, but he wasn't, I don't know if you could call him a coach.
It's funny because I don't think a lot of people were very upset when he was named coach. Because he had a good streak with Torino. A lot of people thought, with Gallo there, you know what I mean? He'll be able to help him because he's been his coach for a while. I think a lot of people thought he'd do better. But, man, that guy he was just terrible. And he was so stubborn, too. That was the worst part, man. He was just like a stubborn prick.
Yeah. And he went from Conte to Ventura that time. That's why also people were mad because Conte left. He already said after the Euros, I'm gone. So you went from there, from a guy that brought up players like Pelé, Giaccherini, Eder, all these mediocre players within like reach of the semifinals. Yeah. Because we only lost to Germany in penalties. You know, they beat the great Belgians. They beat the great Spain with those players, with nobody.
I know. I remember. Yeah, no, Conte, that's the type of coach that he is, as much as we, all kind of joke around about him because he's coached two teams that we despise. He's, he knows how to motivate the troops. And I think that's why he'd be, I think he should consider being the national team coach again at some point, right? Because I think in a tournament like that, I think he can get a team to do what they did. Imagine a team that's a little bit more talented than the team that we had, right? If he did what he did with that team, imagine if the team had a lot more talent.
You know what I would like to see at one time? I would love to see eventually Ancelotti, when he's ready to take on a different project. It would be nice to see what he could do with the national team. But not now, eventually.
Yeah. I thought he was going to do that. I thought he was going to do it before Mancini, but I guess he wanted to show. I think he took Everton. I mean, Everton came a little bit after that, but I think he wants to show people that he could take a team that is not like he wants to be different than Guardiola, right? He wanted to take a team that hasn't been at the top ever really and do something with them. What do you think, Maurizio?
I'm all for it as far as seeing Ancelotti at one point or another on the Nazionale's bench. I'm good with that, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I mean, I think that I agree. I think at some point it will happen. It's inevitable. I think after this Everton opportunity, if something happens with Mancini, I think Ancelotti this time would take it.
It'd be interesting to see. Because we got a bunch of up and comers, a bunch of young guys right now. So give these guys a few years, and you might actually see him slot in with an older version of the current group, and see what he can do with them at that point.
Yeah, speaking of the team a bit, I mean, were you guys who's impressed you the most so far? Like Maurizio, who's impressed you the most on the national team? Maybe from like the younger guy perspective, Anybody in particular stand out?
I haven't. To be quite honest, I haven't really been paying that much attention to it. Like I caught a few minutes today, and I'm like trying to familiarize myself with who's who. Just ramping up to the Euros.
Oh, it's hard because there's a lot of new players, right? And a lot of younger
who's this
players.
guy?
Yeah, no, I know the guy. Who was the guy that he brought in at the end there from Atalanta? I guess I don't really know him that well. He hit the header at the end. What was his name?
Di Lorenzo. I forgot what it was.
No, it wasn't Di Lorenzo. It was something else. He looked good for the few minutes that he came in. I was impressed with Locatelli.
Locatelli came on and just you saw the difference. I mean, and once again, we had this conversation with Pashi on the other episode on Wednesday or Thursday rather about do you guys feel like Locatelli became this great player away from Milan? Do you bite your hands and say shit? We should have never let him go. And I told him, and he was agreeing with me. I said, maybe I don't think he would have done that with Milan. I think he had to go to a place like Sassuolo and just, grow. Some players and they're just not meant for certain teams. Maybe like Andre Silva. Andre Silva was never meant to be on Milan. Maybe there was too much pressure. He flourished better at Eintracht. Some players are just the way they are. Look at Elias shown that he's going to get himself a big team. Maybe he's ready for that jump because it looks like all indication look like Locatelli is going to go to Juve next year. It's almost like a done deal.
Oh, I know. I've been worried about that, to be honest with you.
That statement alone gives me agita.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, Frank said something interesting here, and I hope this is true. Not for the kid, but for Milan fans. Take Locatelli away from Sassuolo, he'll be another Cristante.
It could be.
Could be.
We've seen what happens to Atalanta players when they leave that system.
It's true.
Not everybody is Kessie.
No.
One of them worked out for us.
He didn't come right away. Kessie flourished within a couple of years.
He did. So. There's something about Locatelli, though, that sometimes he leaves me a little bit underwhelmed even now, I think he's still a little bit inconsistent. I mean, he's much better than when he was with us. There's also something about his frame that's a little bit like goofy. I don't know. He's like awkwardly built, right? That I feel like he's uncomfortable, and maybe that's sometimes maybe he needs to put on a little bit more muscle. I think he's a little lengthy.
It didn't help him scoring that screamer against Juve as far as expectations, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Oh my God, remember that? It feels like ages ago.
How old was he then? Was Montella the coach, I think, back then?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, right.
Montella, I'm pretty sure.
He doesn't score that goal, and then suddenly the expectations may not have been what they became. So,
that's true. We'll see. But that was listen, give the kid credit. He scored a beautiful goal. You could tell he was really excited. He was very excited about scoring that goal.
Well, that was his first national team goal.
Yeah, he was really excited. So I'm happy for him, and I really hope he doesn't go to Juventus next year. But I don't know if we would be in the cards to get him back. I don't think we'd want to. I don't know. I just he's a player that what Frank said earlier. I'm wondering that could be the case, right? That if he leaves that small type of environment, not a lot of pressure, he goes back to a high pressure environment. It could turn out negative. But somebody else, Sebastian, said he's still young, so you never know. You can't just paint that brush. Paint him with that brush yet, right? You can't label him. So we'll see. He's still developing.
Everybody's made that mistake. I mean, look at Inter. Inter at one point had Coutinho, and they got rid of him.
Yeah.
He went to Liverpool, and look what happened to Coutinho.
And about Pirlo. I mean, Pirlo's the most famous one, right? They gave us Pirlo.
Pirlo. What about? Yeah, there was actually going to this subject. There was an interview by Francesco Coco that he spoke to his father when he was
Cocaine Coco.
Coco. When he
used to call him Cocaine Coco.
Oh yeah, because of the freaking. But he got swapped for Seedorf, a straight up swap.
I remember that. Yeah, of course.
Told his father, he goes, "Oh my God, I hope they don't realize what they did, because I think that's crazy, and I don't even think I'm at that level." But obviously, they kept it quiet, and look what it ended up being, because I think Pirlo got swapped for, I want to say Elveg. I could be wrong. I know that Coco was a straight swap for Seedorf.
Yeah, that was a straight swap.
And look what happened. I mean, it's sometimes you just that's how it is. You can't. Some players just don't work in certain teams. Coco did good in Milan. I liked him at Milan. He actually did go in the national team. He was in the 2000. He was actually a starter in the 2002 team.
Pepe, tell the truth. You like him because era siciliano, come noi.
Yeah, no, but them no.
He was the only Siciliano that ever played for Milan? No. Who else?
No, I don't think so. I just can't think.
Who else? That's true. Sandro Melli's parents were Sicilian.
The only ones I can remember, big Anastasi. Can't think of other. I mean, there's players that I just can't remember. I mean, Mascat.
I don't know. I'm disappointed that you guys don't have this on offhand.
Yes.
From my experience, the Sicilians are their own country.
Yeah. What do you call it? I forgot what you are.
No, I'm Molisano, but I married into a Sicilian family.
Oh, that's right. I'm Molisano. Oh, me. Yeah. I did. You want a little funny story about Molise? No offense.
Apparently, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, no, that's what I told him.
I wasn't going to say that.
You say it doesn't exist.
I was at high school Italian, whatever year it was, 90s, right? And we all got projects. We all got chosen. The teacher gave us a region of Italy that we had to do it on. She picked it. She didn't really like me too much because I was a little bit of a smartass, believe it or not. I don't know if anybody believes that, but I was. So she gave me Molise, and I'm like, where the fuck is Molise? I swear I don't know if it's Molise. I don't know where this is. I'm like, why don't you give me, I wanted Lombardia because of Milan, I wanted Sicily. And she's like, Molise, that's where Di Pietro's from, the very famous Italian judge. I'm like, okay. So I did it on Molise. And then obviously I became obsessed with Molise. I did a lot of research. Beautiful place, It's a place that I hope to go to one day, but just funny, little tidbit from high school.
They have an ongoing joke saying that like saying Molise doesn't exist. It's like, you know, people's like Narnia exists, but Molise don't. Like yeah, like they have like an ongoing joke because it's so small. It's basically like the Rhode Island of Italy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's there, but you drove by. It's like me whenever I went to Boston to watch like the Yankees at Fenway Park. I remember I would drive to Welcome to Rhode Island. Before I knew it, I changed the radio. Now leaving Rhode Island. I'm like,
no, it's true. Yeah, it's small. It's small. It's small. It's like Andorra, right? Liechtenstein, right? It's small. It's the smallest. Is it the smallest region in Italy? I think it is, right?
Yeah, it is.
I wouldn't know. I've been there once. Sadly, I've only been to Italy once, and I was 11 years old when I went.
Campobasso?
Yeah, my parents actually come from a small town near Campobasso named Toro. So when they went from Toro to Toronto, so
that's pretty funny.
I added a few letters, and had I not been there when I was 11 years old and walked into the correct colored bar, that's how I became a Milanista. I walked into a Milanista bar in my parents' hometown, and the owner of the bar, started handing me postcards and scarves and whatever, the whole works. And then it stuck from then. I still remember playing a cassette tape with all Milan songs and all whatever, and flying a flag out of my nonna's window in the little town. It was this crazy Americano over here.
It's true.
Campobasso is actually a very big city when it comes to. I don't know if it's our military base or if it's where the Americans have their base, but Campobasso is like a big hub for military. I don't want to say the wrong country. I don't know if it's us that we have a big base over there, or if it's the Americans that have a huge base in Campobasso. Campobasso is well known military-wise. I just don't know exactly for which country, but that's what Campobasso is very known for.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens with their Serie D team. I'm curious to see as they're trying to revamp it and bring it back to life.
Yeah. Was an American bought them?
Yeah, I think they're the guys from New York.
Yes, from New York. I'm telling you, these Americans are coming to Italy.
Actually, and he's Sicilian, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it Tacopina? No,
Tacopina is in
who's he on now?
Matt, I think his name is Matt Riza.
Interesting.
Not 100% sure. I think it was. I don't know what percentage ownership.
What memo aren't we getting, Pepe, that all these Americans are buying these teams? I mean, do we have to?
I don't know. Did you say you have a friend that was going to buy Pistoiese and he didn't buy it?
Yeah, I did. He didn't buy it though. He didn't like the way the books looked. I had a friend, Maurizio, that was going to buy. He was going to buy Pistoiese of all teams, and yeah, he went there, opened up the books, and didn't really like what he saw. He went with his accountant, and the stadium too. The stadium deal was, as we all know in Italy, all the stadium deals are terrible, and it was a similar type situation. So
our little chat over here has informed us as to the names we were trying to come up with.
Yeah, we got all these guys working for us over here in the chat. I love this, man.
Yes, so we can fly off the seam of our pants, and then they can do the research.
Yeah, because you know what's good. You know what's good about this? When you watch it on YouTube, all these things don't come up, so we could look like geniuses.
we should ignore them.
For other people,
don't give them any credit, and we just take the credit, right?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. You're right. I forgot that the live feed doesn't come up on the comments.
It does come up, I think, on Instagram. On Instagram, you actually see everybody what they write.
Yeah, and like right now, like if you're on the YouTube live, you'll see these comments. Obviously,
maybe I should go on there and add some.
You were saying that earlier, right? You were saying that earlier. But Maurizio, before we get into back into Italy a little bit and AC Milan, why don't you tell us a little bit about AC Milan Club Toronto? Tell us about the group and where you guys watch games and all that stuff.
So pretty much, I'd say. I don't remember what year it was that Milan played Olympiacos in Toronto, and then they played Man City in Pittsburgh, and that's the first time I got to see them live. And using like social media with Twitter and whatever, I got to meet Dave from Philly in Pittsburgh, and I started watching what they were doing. I started seeing what you guys were doing in New York and so on. I'm like, why don't we have something like this here? and it turned into pretty much like me going nuts trying to find the Milan Club of Toronto, which is pretty much an old folks thing. I don't even know if they don't exist as far as I know physically on social media, whatever it is.
Yep.
And I'm like, I kind of dove in head first with what's it called, the Twitter handle and the Instagram and the Facebook. And
That's great.
I don't know. The video froze. I wasn't sure if I was talking to myself.
No, sometimes it freezes. It depends on the connection, and sometimes when you have multiple people on, it'll do that. Sometimes Pepe looks like he's got this like psychotic smile.
I'm listening. No,
no. Sometimes you can't tell when Pepe's frozen.
So, so basically, it took off from there, and then I met Anthony Lopopolo up here with. At the same time, I met Franco there, and then we kind of hit it off from there, and then pretty much. Anytime Franco comes up, time permitting, we get together and so on. And just it started rolling from there where we were actually, our first year, we're heavily relying on DAZN because watching any Serie A games, let alone Milan games, conventionally just wasn't happening. So we ended up, had a DAZN membership, and we found a bar that was brand new. And I pitched the idea to them that, look, this is what I want to do. I'm trying to get a fan club going. Do you mind if I show up with a laptop and start streaming the games at no cost to them? And I'm bringing in clientele. So we started off like that, and we had the event with Masato at that bar as well. And then after that, we ended up leaving that bar because basically. NFL took priority. The whole 4 or 5 people they had watching NFL, as opposed to the 30 plus people I was bringing in. So we found another place that's called the Mills Tap House and Grill up in Vaughan. Yeah. That's made our home ever since. It's a small family run. Coincidentally, also a Sicilian background, if I'm not mistaken. And that's where we're pretty much made our home, and we get together when we can. Given the circumstances in the last year, we haven't really had our full-fledged everybody show up kind of thing. So it's plugging along, and
that's great. Yeah, Franco and Anthony have always told us, how great of a job you guys do up there, and it's great to see the community. Obviously, we all know how big the Italian community is in Toronto, and obviously there's a lot of Milanisti there. We have a few friends, including yourself and Fulvio and Anthony and a few others. So it's great to see the group, in such a great city. I love Toronto. I've been there several times myself. I have family outside of Toronto in Milton, which you probably know where that is.
Yeah, it's not far.
Not far. It's been a while since I've been up there, though. Hopefully we'll get back up there soon, and things won't be as crazy as they are everywhere right now. So looking forward to traveling. And getting back up there and watching a game with you guys. It's exciting to see how much you guys have grown, and keep up the great work. And we're excited to have more of these Milan clubs everywhere. I mean, there's Montreal, you got so many in the U.S., and then obviously Philly, and and then obviously the international ones. It's such a great community, and I mean, I know that other clubs have that too, like Inter and Juventus. But I mean, I can speak about the Juventus club, pretty openly, the one in New York City, and with all due respect, they try, but it's not the same, And this just a little something, because I wore this specifically for any Juventino who's watching right now. I wore my Porto jersey. I ordered this after the game, after they lost. So I forgot to wear it the last time Pip and I had our conversation. So I figured tonight I would, throw a little salt on the wound, reminding them that they'll never win the Champions League. And we'll probably end up winning it before them. So just since I kind of led into a little bit of a Juventus talk, I figured I'd do a little vaffanculo for them. That's it's funny. My son saw me wearing this earlier. He's like, "What the hell is that?" He thought I was like, betraying AC Milan, because I've gotten so obsessed with everything Milan that he sees me wearing another team's jersey, he gets confused.
Apparently my video is frozen.
Still?
No.
It's not? I don't know. The screen's frozen for me.
Yeah, I think that was a while ago. Yeah, that comment was old. You're good now.
But the actual screen that I'm looking at is frozen, and I got it. I'm on the YouTube right now, and it's moving pretty clearly. But my actual screen with all three of us is frozen.
The one that you're broadcasting from, I guess.
Yeah, but to us, we're good. And if it's good on the video, then we're fine.
Yeah.
That's just driving me nuts. I can't see your reactions and your facial expressions.
It's like a podcast now, a real podcast.
Yeah,
you can't see us.
So, did anybody watch like our other guys, like Zlatan? I know Zlatan got an assist, and Sweden is rolling because they won 3-0 again.
No, I didn't see any of the other games. I saw that. I saw he had that assist, and Çalhanoğlu had a pretty good 2 games. No,
Çalhanoğlu goes crazy. I don't know why.
It's like another way, but there's a lot of players like that. There's some players that do better in the national teams than they do in their club, and then you got players like Immobile. Immobile was frustrating to me today.
You see that post he hit?
Yeah, and even you see Belotti's post? He tried to chip it. That would have been an amazing goal if he got that in. That would have been an amazing goal if he would have gotten that in, Belotti.
Oh yeah, and listen, I mean, besides that, like even Cheeto and everybody else.
Oh God, fucking ruined the video.
I got 10 minutes.
He just shows up.
Yeah, I just cursed him out. That's why I was texting him. I said, "You couldn't make it. You couldn't do this."
Hi guys.
You gotta get out. You gotta get out. Get out. You can't just show up. We got Maurizio on. This is rude to our guests.
Grazie, Maurizio, for coming.
Did he not
for taking my place?
Did he not show up the other night? And you guys like, okay, we gotta go.
Yep, we did.
So you know why he showed up now? Because it's the 35-minute mark.
Exactly.
And he's come to tell us that it's time to wrap it up.
He knows I'm not going to stop the fucking stream right now. That's why. But you know why I did that, Maurizio? Just to give you a history. This motherfucker, he's always late, right? One time I'm late.
No.
He starts the stream because I'm 5 minutes late. I never did that to him, and he freaking starts it. So I got him back. Me and Pepe saw him popping up. I'm like, all right, guys, we gotta go and stream.
And he didn't make the stream. He didn't make it. I thought he made it, and everything disappeared. Like as you saw his face, he didn't even end up making it.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Wait, all right. Where's the couch?
So much love.
Where's the couch?
It's right there, man.
Why is your view? It looks different this time, right?
Because I took the camera. I changed the camera because I'm doing a bunch of stuff here at home right now, and that's why
He's getting ready for shooting.
Yeah, you noticed? It's a lot brighter in there.
It's getting brighter. You want to make sure you get the right POVs, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
How you guys doing?
Great, man. Great. It's funny. We were just talking about before you came on. We were talking about Immobile a little bit, and my friend Danny's he made a comment about Immobile, and it's basically relevant to what I was saying. Immobile, amazing strike. Let's put Danny's comment up there, right? Amazing striker, but with Lazio, but with the Nazionale, he's a little underwhelming, right? I mean, let's be honest. And there's a lot of players like this. You have a Çağlar who plays better with the Turkish national team, and then you have somebody like Immobile who plays better for his club team. So, what do you guys think?
I don't know. I think he has. I think he has kryptonite every time he wears Azzurri. That's my opinion. I don't know why. But it's just like he can't perform. It's like what we were talking about Locatelli the other day. He left Milan, he's at Sassuolo, and it's this great thing that is happening. Maybe with Italy it's the same way. And then this is actually not good. This is what makes me scared for the Euros this year. I'm very scared because if we get one of these tough pressure, I forgot our groups, honestly. I don't have it on top of my mind. But let's say we have to. Who do we play in the groups? Do you remember?
There's Wales, Turkey, and Switzerland. Okay,
let's say we get it's doable. But let's say we have a very tough match against Wales because Wales is performing, and it's 0-0 79th minute, and Immobile hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
How do you feel he's gonna do?
He's not gonna get nothing.
Exactly.
Wait, did we lose Maurizio?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what happened. He was saying that he was having trouble with the.
Okay.
He kept on him. I don't know.
Oscar intimidated him. That's what it is. Oscar intimidated him.
He said, you know what?
Here. What is this new screen? You did it like a little.
Ricardo Rodriguez. Every time he plays for Switzerland,
he had an assist. He had an assist yesterday.
He's amazing when he plays for Switzerland. That guy.
I don't understand this fucking guy.
Hey, did you see Zlatan? Zlatan played today, and he had
Yeah,
this
he had an
great-
assist.
How many minutes did he play? That's what I was gonna ask.
I know he played like 60 minutes or something. He didn't play much this time.
What a guy! I don't understand.
I
One F. I don't understand.
I was scared. I was scared. I watched some of that, between the Italy and the Sweden game, and then I just turned it off. I actually took a nap. So I went for a run this afternoon. I'm trying to be like you, Bep. Trying to run.
Yeah. Run.
Yeah.
Where are you running from?
Run.
What are you running from?
Yeah. Where you
Where am I? I'm not running.
Always a Pep is running is he's running from something.
I'm telling you, man. He has that Peloton right in that room, right?
You have a Peloton?
Right behind the screen.
Behind the screen is me. Look at this guy. Peloton. Nice. I think we talked about the Peloton before.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's
So
all,
anyhow,
that's all the little figures.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, no, it was a good day. I did watch some of these other results. I saw the under 21, the Italy under 21 tied 0-0, and they struggled. That's kind of worrisome too. I mean, the fact these kids are not performing makes you wonder too. I mean, Tonali was out, of course, but
good. He doesn't get fucking hurt.
Yeah,
well, he's everybody's home training already. I mean, it seems that's
on Inter, it seems like everybody was like, oh, they just now made it back. Now they're all negative. It was all a plan. Everything was already orchestrated between the ATS. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, there's not Inter that's doing it. It's the ASL and Lombardia. Everybody gets paid off. Everybody, when you think everything is a scheme, yesterday's a scheme. That's what happened in freaking in Naples. The Laurentiis had the ASL in Naples. Tell them, don't go. You guys are forbidden from traveling to Torino. Say, why? Because he was missing 3 players. He thought he was going to get smacked by Juve over there.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and because he started doing this, welcome Maurizio's back. Okay.
Hey, Mauricio.
there he is.
And because he started doing this, that's what happened. Everything became now that's the precedent. So everybody follows that what happened with the Juve Napoli game. Because of Napoli, everything became bordello in Serie A.
When is that game gonna get played? By the way,
Yeah, right.
they just keep pushing it forward and keep pushing it forward. I mean, what's the point?
They're waiting to see if somebody needs the points.
De Laurentiis is not ready yet. Remember when you wanted to postpone the Supercoppa?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So this guy is he's outing himself. He's exposing himself.
He's such a piece of shit. I can't stand him. I know we showed him. I know we showed him the last time with the Vespa.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
He should own Juventus. He belongs with them. Like that's the kind he would be. I mean, I know he would never, and obviously he's a Napoli fan his whole life, but he's that kind of quality. He fits in with that sliminess over there.
But you believe he was a Napoli fan his whole life?
I mean, I'm assuming. When he was a kid, maybe. He's from. Where's he from? He's from
Bowman.
I thought he was from.
Maurizio.
I don't know what the hell I was doing. I hit things I wasn't supposed to hit.
It's okay. Man.
De Laurentiis Romano. I actually didn't know he was from Rome.
I think he just happened to buy the team. The same way I think he owns. Doesn't he own Bari? Yeah, he owns Bari as well.
Bari now, yeah. He bought Bari last. I think he bought Bari last year. Our friend Vito was happy about that.
Yeah, the same way they did Lotito as Lazio and Salernitana.
So what do you got? Yeah. Speaking of Lotito, what do you guys think about Lotito?
Oh, you see that? You see what I mean, though? Everybody thinks they're above the law.
Especially.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Some grimy shit that he did.
He's been doing that for years.
Yeah, well, that's
There's some shady stuff going on out there. I can't believe they're gonna get a hand slap and that's it. And I personally don't feel like. Hey guys, I heard a comment. Sorry, I'm going back just briefly on about Americans buying a soccer team. Like you had a friend who wanted to buy Pistoiese. So actually, I did some research because this is one of the things that I want to do in the future. Is I want to buy a team down in somewhere in the.
Cash Felipe that for sale?
Fuck you.
I want to buy some.
It's like 35.
I will buy Siracusa for you, Beppe, and I will make you president of Siracusa.
Oh my god!
How would you feel if I could do that?
I'm gonna get
people are gonna fucking curse you out, Oscar, when they see Minchia ritornato visto. Oh fuck!
They know what they're gonna do. Then they're gonna all call me. Mi facciate lo stadio. You don't want to go there. 10,000 people.
He's going to go back to Siracusa like when Don Corleone, when he went back to Corleone and he met Don Ciccio, and he's like, come ti chiami? He's like, Vito Corleone. Tu pigliaste il nome del paese? He took the name of the town. They're gonna be like, who the fuck this guy Pepe Corona?
Pepe Corona, exactly.
Oh.
That's okay, guys. Yeah, so I did see that. I read that, and I'm like, interesting. Actually, I was doing some research. There are some teams. You look at it by market worth. I mean, there's a few sites that give you a sort of a realistic, and I think you could buy a club for like 10 million euros or less. Something like 5, something like 1 million. I mean,
I think there's better ways to spend that money, in my opinion. But there's got to listen. There has to be something going on. Somebody, there's one accountant who's guiding all these people. I think. Because
yeah, I mean,
there's a few now. There's a few American owners.
You got Roma. You got Parma. Yeah. Now you got Spezia. And then who else is getting bought down there?
Yeah, Fiorentina.
Oh yeah, Fiorentina. Yeah. Thank goodness we didn't get Catania. Thank goodness we didn't get bought by Comiso. I am until today.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I did want him, but yeah, now in retrospect, man, totally.
Yeah, you're getting Iachini back. I mean, after all the mess, and you get, I mean, yeah.
They all fall into the same trap once they get to Italy. They
fire. What's a trap?
Well, they fire the coach, and then they bring a new guy in. The new guy doesn't do better, and they're still paying the other guy, so they bring him back. It's the cycle in Italy. It's amazing to me. I don't think I mean, I'm sure it happens in other places, but it's just, to me, it's hilarious.
Mike Piazza. They said Mike Piazza owns a team in Italy. He owns a team in Italy.
Yeah, he destroyed.
That went like belly up real fast. That was Reggiana.
Reggiana. That wasn't good look for Piazza.
Mike Piazza is a freaking baseball player. He used to play for the worst team, the Mets. Come on, that tells you everything.
When you say things like that, Oscar, you make me like you more.
But he gets a pass. He was Sicilian, so it was okay. He's
Piazza?
Piazza's Sicilian, yeah.
Was he from Piazza Medina?
I don't know where he's from. Filippo. I don't know. We'll claim Piazza. Even though I was a Yankee fan, I'm a Yankee fan. I didn't really care for him when he played for the Mets, but they were never a threat. So
the Mets are never a threat. Sorry, we're speaking about baseball, and we shouldn't be talking. But come on, man.
Well, right now. But you saying that if Frankie was on, oh my God, Frankie. Let's say we'll lose Frankie. Talk about the Yankees or the politics. Let's say this will be taking over here.
Oh, hold on. We started something tonight, guys. We have Maurizio on, and I swear to God, we got everybody from Campobasso in this chat tonight. It's like the third Campobasso, baby. What the fuck is going on? The smallest region in Italy is everybody's.
Oh, yeah, Campobasso.
You see what it is. I might actually have my own following that I don't know about.
Look at this.
Look at that.
This is hilarious.
You have a following. Hey, Maurizio. So let me ask you something. So I told you that. The company right now I'm working for, it's like they have a source in Vaughan. And then I ate at that St. Louis place, I don't know how many times, every time I was there. And I was surprised that, by the last time I was there, like it was the last time you guys were leaving. But man, what happened? I mean, they don't make good wings anymore?
No,
I mean, I remember they had...
they started off strong and then they went to shit.
Wow.
They got rid of their number one draw, which was us. And oh well, the hell with them.
We had a couple places, before we found Football Factory. So trust me, I feel your pain. We definitely had that. Pachi could tell you, we went to a few places before we settled in.
It didn't take long to find a new place. My wife's like, "But you worked so hard. What are you gonna do now?" I'm like, "What are you gonna do?" I Googled new restaurants and bars in Vaughan.
Yeah.
And I found a new place that carries like 40 something different beers, and
that's perfect.
They'd already heard about us as it was. I didn't realize that we were making that much noise, and they're like, "Yeah, sure, come on in."
That's great.
And we set up shop over there pretty much. But yeah, the way we left that other place, I can see Frank is he's still upset. It was basically that they didn't want to put the audio on for the game. And they were catering to the 4 or 5 guys watching NFL at the front of the bar. And okay, fine. I'll give them that much, that it's a big corporate place that it pretty much could have been that right from head office. This is a standard for all of our locations. NFL is what we need to be showing, and their hand might have been forced in that sense. But put it this way: the last time we were there, I had about 35 people for Milan Cagliari, and they had a bartender and a waitress, and they couldn't get their act together, and all kinds of things went sideways, and whatever. We're in a better place now.
Good.
That's cool. Hey, there's a place there I also like by Vomels. It's called the Keg. You know what that? I don't know who hires the waitresses there. It's like they handpick them. It's and the food is amazing, but like the sightseeing.
I see you've been.
Oscar's a family show, Oscar.
He's been recruiting for his casting couch even when he's north of the border.
He's recruiting for the couch. You know?
I miss getting lost in Toronto and doing fun stuff, man. So next time.
Yeah, Toronto's a good time.
Yeah, the bang bus, Toronto style. You see him on the bus.
Now you said that, Frank is going to show up in the comments now.
Yeah.
So let's do a little bit about Milan. I mean, we talked a little bit about the national team. You know, we talked a bit about Toronto and a few other fun things. But what's your take for the next couple of games with Milan? How about you, Pepe?
Well, hopefully they all come back. They still got one more game. Hopefully they all come back, healthy. And we got Sampdoria. Sampdoria could be a tricky one. Sampdoria has never been a given, no matter how bad they've been, no matter how good they've been. Sampdoria has always been, I don't know. It's always been, it could have gone either way. So all I know is we won the last game. This is time to continue that streak because so far all we've been doing is winning one and losing the other, tying the other one. So we need to keep getting points. And what I mean by points, I don't mean 1 point a game.
No, we need 3 points.
3 points because this is the last 11 games. Let's hold down to that 4th place. Even though we're in 2nd right now, we're very close to 5th. So let's just keep holding on. If we do our part, we could get in there. We don't have to look at what other teams are doing. We don't got to keep looking, but look, this team lost. So if we lose today, it's okay. Stop having that mentality. Stop having that loser mentality. It's a loser mentality to have.
Well, I laughed because Frank's comment with Tony. We gotta go to this place. Take a fucking flight. Let's go, Air Canada.
I'm telling you, man.
Americans, we're not allowed up there yet, right?
None. I don't think so.
I
don't think they want us up there.
Not yet. Not yet.
They definitely don't want you after those comments.
Hey, is that a Euro 96 jersey, Pepe?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Yeah, no, I think Sampdoria would be. It's always tricky. I mean, it's one of those teams that you go there and you can have a shit game and struggle for like 80 minutes and then maybe get a winner, or we go ahead and just score a few at the beginning and that's it. But I don't know. I don't have the most fun recent memories. I remember Quagliarella scoring, and it was just very tough games the last 2 years. So, and we played there. We played in Genoa, right? I don't think we play at home, right? Yeah. It's
we play. It's Sampdoria, Genoa. It's Sampdoria.
Yeah, the Marazzi. So it's like, I mean, I think we'll win. I hope everybody's coming up healthy. I mean, I'm looking at.
Oh, sorry. It is. It's in Milan.
It's in Milan.
Yeah, Sampdoria.
So there we go.
I mean, not that it makes we talked about this already. Not that it makes a difference right now.
It's actually a very, very early game. It's Saturday.
I was going to say that.
6:30 a.m.
Oh, it's one of those.
And regardless of the opponent, that time slot is not, without saying too much, not one of my favorite time slots for them to be playing at.
No, we all hate it. I mean, we've done breakfast.
I mean, I'll wake up anyways, but it's that time slot, regardless of who they play, is not always favorable.
No.
The Brignoli game against Benevento was around at that time.
6 there, yeah. The derby.
Yeah.
I will never forget the derby at 6:30 in the morning. We were all there at the bar in New York. That was actually one of the games that Giancarlo actually made it.
That was a Pasqua, right?
Yeah, Pasqua, yeah.
I think it better be.
Our friend Dubini he showed up, and I congratulated him like 2 seconds before Zapata scored. And I literally turned to him. I'm like, "Yo, congrats, man! You guys played better." As my hands coming off his, fucking Zapata scores. He's like, he got so fucking mad at me. He's like, I never want to watch a game with you again. You're a fucking. He's like, you're a fucking vampire. You're like some sort of fortune teller, witch doctor.
Eddie Mush.
Well, I did used to look like. Not Eddie Mush. I used to look like Eddie Munster when I was a kid. The Sampdoria, for me, it's going to be tough. I think we'll prevail again hopefully against Lithuania. Nobody gets hurt. Everybody's healthy. I have some good confidence that, looking at the schedule, I know there's some games that, and some teams that we could possibly disappoint against, but I don't know. I just feel that we'll do well in these next 11 games.
Standings. They're not that bad. I mean, I feel more confident.
They're all winnable. Every game is winnable.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I mean, the following game is against Parma in Parma, and then we got Genoa. So Parma is actually fighting for relegation.
Yeah. And Genoa too. Genoa is down there in the basement.
Genoa a little bit more up out of the mix, but Parma. Listen, Parma. If Parma goes to Serie B, guess who comes back? Mr. Conte.
Yeah, you're right.
Mr. Conte comes back, Caldara comes back because we all know that what Atalanta's not going to resign. They're not going to take Caldara if he's not playing.
I read a report that we're finally getting rid of Laxalt, which I'm happy. Apparently Celtic really wants it. They really love him. I might take him. I don't,
his name, it gives me like stomach cramps. It's like a laxative. It sounds like a laxative, Laxalt. It's like the new Brioski. Take a Laxalt. Fucking shit it right out. You should go play for Juventus.
Sebastian, this is the $1 million question.
What's that?
You know what? we keep talking about this, but nothing really.
Refer back to the last episode.
We all three of us already know what we've been saying it like every week. What do you think, Maurizio? You think he's going to resign?
Yeah, let's hope he resigns. But I think I said it earlier during the Instagram live, and I didn't see the whole thing. I just jumped in for a second. I go, if we were to have to lose him, so to speak, why not spend the money on a better back line and a midfield and get a mediocre goalie that you're not spending a fortune on? Then you won't have to depend on him.
Yeah.
Here's another one that I found out. Would you trade in? Then we're asking, would you trade Romagnoli for Milinkovic-Savic?
Trade?
Yeah, that's what I keep. I actually stumbled on
equal value at all.
Yeah, I stumbled upon. Of course, there's gonna be some money involved. But that's what they're speaking.
Right now, I'm putting my shoes on. I'm gonna put it.
I'll fucking drive him. I'll drive him. You kidding me? Pepe loves him. I know Pepe. You like him. I like. Yeah, I know you like him.
I'll take him, man.
I'll take him in a heartbeat. Would you read the Sempre Milan, Oscar? Would you read this on?
No. Actually, Sempre Milan. I mean, I've read a few outlets. Not necessarily super credible. Not credible, but hey. Listen, I made me think. I'm like, well, Romagnoli has always been a Laziale somewhere of him, right? If you can find, there's some pictures of him.
He had the Lazio jersey on when he was teasing Roma.
Yeah, but who knows? I don't know. I'll take Milinkovic-Savic any day, but who knows?
No, I mean definitely. But back to Gigio for a second. I think we've talked about this a few times, all three of us. I just don't want him to leave for free. So I just can't see Elliott, Maldini letting him leave, for free. So if anything, I think we'll re-sign him. Probably give him the contract, not the $10 million, but maybe 8, whatever it is.
Well, he refused 8.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but that's Raiola also, I think, is thinking that he's going to be able to get that. I don't think anybody's going to give up. I don't think anybody's going to give.
Anything is going to happen until after the Euros. Now it's very clear. It's very clear at this point that they're waiting for the Euros because they think he's going to have a good Euro.
Agreed. But I think that I think we should resign him, obviously. And then if we do want to sell him, let's wait until we have him, so we could make some money on it. I mean, not right away, but maybe a year or two down the road. If let's say we're still underperforming or we want to go in a different direction. I mean, if he's worth 80, 90 million, I mean, we can't let him go for free. I just can't let him go for free.
Oh. Believe me, I agree.
It's unfortunate that it's even getting to this point where we haven't had him locked up, but he's got the fucking worst agent in the world. Not the worst agent for him, the best agent for him, really. But for like fans, it's tough to love a player that has Pizzaiolo as the agent.
Apparently, I don't remember which game it was when they were throwing that fake money at him from behind the net wasn't enough of a message for him.
Yeah, remember that was the thing that I was telling you about. That was the under-20 World Cup, where he was like mentally he was fucked up because
it messed him up.
They were calling him Dollaruma.
Dollaruma. That's funny. It sounds like something a rapper would say. Yo, Dollaruma, son.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what do you want them to get to a point? Because that's what's going to happen. People are going to get fed up and they're going to say, "Oh yeah, you're refusing $8 million a year. We think that's even too much for you," and you're saying no.
Pepe, you said did they officially turn down the $8 million a year already?
That was the article last week.
I think it's just bad optics, man. If they could have just said if Raiola was Raiola's smart, but the optics are bad on that because it's better for you to say let's just wait until after the Euros and not turn down the $8 million. If that's the case, then that's just dumb for Raiola because it makes his his client look greedy, and it's going to cause situations like this. I mean, this is where Gigio's got to step up and be like, "Hey, man, I don't want to have that happen to me again, where they're throwing money at me like that and booing me and getting upset at me." He's not that kind of kid. He doesn't like that. That's
why I can't understand. Like at one point, sometimes it's gonna have to matter. Is it really Raiola? Because at the end, you're the buck stops for you. You're the one that makes that decision. So you got to turn around and say, listen, enough. I'm good with this. I'm good with that. But if all these things are happening, you're letting it happen. So you're just as part of the problem as Raiola is.
I mean, but it's pretty consistent with most of his clients.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't just say, "Don't worry, let me deal with it. You don't worry about nothing," because you read the papers, you see the things. I don't think Gigio's completely shut down from social media and all these things. He's got to know what's going on.
All right, I'm gonna make my point with this, and that's it. This is a message from a few years ago. One of our friends, Elias, recorded this, and I'm gonna play it because this resembles my opinion.
I love this.
Rumor, fuck right off. If you haven't got the common decency to stay at the club that launched you at 18 years of age and get you a fucking shitload of money, you can go rob somewhere in the Premiership, probably play for the Kidderminster Harriers or somewhere. Fuck you, good riddance. I am so happy. Stick it to them.
That's my opinion.
You love that.
I stick to this until today with this shit. Like I'm done with the drama. I don't care. We spoke about this with Pachi. We speak about this with Pachi. The goalkeepers market is, I think that there's scare tactics that Raiola is trying to do, and at the end of the day, Gigio's gonna get the money he wants, and he's gonna stay here. Now, how long? I have no idea.
I think we should quote our friend Manuel, a good friend Manuel, who says all the time, just ignore what the newspapers say right now, and whatever Raiola says, it's all just crap, right? We all know that right now. Raiola's using his friends at the newspapers to kind of publish these articles to make it sound like there's this contention, so other teams come in and want to participate in the Gigio sweepstakes. So I think as Milan fans, I don't think we should get mad at Gigio. I think a lot of this is all BS, and like Pepe said earlier, let's wait until after the Euros, see what happens. I think we know the team needs to do this. They really do need to re-sign him because you cannot let an asset like that walk for free. You just cannot do it. So re-sign him. If you want to sell him in 2 years, a year, whatever, sell him, but you make sure you lock him up so you can make some money on him.
Lock him up.
Yeah, lock him up. Lock him up into a contract.
Sound like a politician all of a sudden.
No, I'm not the Riddler. That's you, Oscar. Fucking Riddler.
This minute and a half introduction, but I'm there thinking.
You see what I did though? On YouTube, I put a disclaimer for people. 50 seconds, so you virtually. That was funny.
I don't know, Giancarlo. It's okay, man. I'm happy, guys. It's happy you guys make fun of me.
I don't think he is. I think he's upset again. I can tell when he gets mad. I don't know why this guy can dish it out.
As soon as we go off the air, we're gonna have like a meeting. You guys stop.
He's gonna sit us down on the couch.
Listen, you guys.
He's gonna cross his legs. His freaking underwear is good. His cock's gonna come out of the underwear.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
This
boy.
reminded me of, remember that Mai Dire Gol in Italy, that with the Jalapa band? If you ask her, you definitely don't know what it is. You gotta go when
I don't think I know. What is it again?
Where is it?
Mai Dire Gol. There's always been these three guys in Italy. It was like it's like almost like a Saturday Night Live, but just it's like a Comedy Central type of thing.
Okay.
But it was on Italia Uno. And Mai Dire Gol was the funniest thing in the world. There's always these three guys that you never saw their faces, but they would comment people's interviews. They would comment during the show.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking
I don't
about.
know,
Yeah,
but you definitely see, you definitely heard them.
No, I do know what this was. Yeah.
So
I remember.
it's almost like we could be like that. So
Once you said that you couldn't see their faces and they would comment on things, I got a glimpse of what this is. I remember. Yeah.
if you do Mai Dire Gol, you'll see it. I mean, especially the Oscar doesn't know what it is. You get a good kick out of it.
I will Google it. Anything that you want to teach me at this point, I'm all for learning.
Nothing to teach. You just gotta go and watch the video.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're telling me new things. I have no idea. I'm learning. I mean, yeah.
You gotta teach me. You gotta teach me your casting couch ways.
I can't teach you that, bro. That comes automatically in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank thinks I sound like Vince Vaughn in Crashers. Lock it up.
Look it up.
Motorboat son of a bitch, you old sailor, you.
The motorboat.
Oh man.
Guys.
But yeah, I think that's a wrap. Let's cut it under an hour tonight. No, I think you got Pepe's working overtime, man. He did 2 today.
Yeah, he did today with Pachi.
Any final thoughts, Maurizio?
The 4-minute warning.
Yeah, 4-minute warning. That's right.
The Oscar warning.
Yeah, well, Oscar made it a little awkward because he didn't take our joke too well. So.
No, I know.
We're gonna end the show now.
He's like, that's it. There is no final comments. That's it. Over. See you.
Oh, fun, cool. No.
Cool.
Seriously, thank you, man. It was great having you on.
Anytime, you guys. It's a pleasure.
You always contribute so nicely in the comments that we thought of you, and
yeah,
you and Frank. We can't wait to come up there and watch a game with you and Frank. You guys are hilarious.
Whenever you guys are up here,
we'll hang out.
Even if there's no games on, let me know. We'll be sure to grab a few beers or something.
Desserts plus, man. Desserts plus. That's what I like to eat.
I think you pretty much scoped out all the food up here, didn't you?
Dude, okay, I'll tell you a story, and then just to wrap it up, I got stuck in Canada back in 2015 for a month up there. Yeah, it's long story short. I spent, by the time I was stuck in there, I explored Toronto. I explored Toronto. I explored Ottawa, and it was, I learned a lot during that month. So yeah.
And you didn't stay for good?
No, I had to come back to the U.S. There's no way I could stay.
They didn't let them
Sorry,
really, with that face?
They didn't want me to stay anyhow, so I had to come back home.
What'd you do in Ottawa? You stopped by Trudeau's house?
No, actually, it was in the winter, and they had
That's why he left. It was the winter.
Trudeau with the. You ever see that? You ever see that? No offense to your prime minister, guys, but you see that meme of Trudeau fixing his hair?
Like this thing.
Yeah,
there it is. That is my favorite. That is my anytime anybody Canadian says something in one of our chats, I always post this. Trudeau.
Yeah. So anyhow.
Well, good stuff, guys. Pip, any final thoughts?
Nothing much.
Let's beat Lithuania.
We got 6 points. Let's make it 9 on
9.
And that's it.
Andiamo tutti a casa.
And after that is the Euros. Then hopefully this team goes with a different mindset, because if this is the team that's going to go to the Euros, they better fucking wake up, because that's not going to cut it with the likes of the Germanys, the Frances. If we want to actually go deep, we're going to eventually have to play those teams. So let's hope we could get past, if we're going to struggle with Bulgaria and
but you think I think I don't know if I don't want to keep going here.
They didn't look good.
I don't think we really struggle. I mean, the second half, I think we could have we did better in the second half, and it looked like we could turn it on whenever we wanted to. We were just not doing that.
They needed to, because they knew they had to score a little more goals.
I know.
Because you know what? The goal difference is going to make a difference against Switzerland.
That Belotti, if Belotti would have gotten that goal in. Oh.
I know, man. Madonna mia.
That was beautiful. I mean, that little chip he did there, and then like the follow-up was terrible because he shot it. He kicked it.
Kind of like, what's his name? When Zlatan almost got the second goal, almost the same way.
Yeah. We're like those old Italian people that like say goodbye 5 times by the door, by the car. We say goodbye already.
Okay.
Ciao.
Come back in, have an espresso. Come here.
See, and now you officially hit the 1 hour mark.
Yeah, well, that's what I was waiting for. Waiting for that.
It's okay. Whenever you guys want to end it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm good.
I think for me, my final thoughts would be that, obviously I want to beat Lithuania. I agree with Pep. I mean, I think that, we could have played a little bit. I don't want to say better. I think we could have just done a little bit more to put our stamp on that game. I mean, Bulgaria, let's be honest, like you said earlier, Pepe, this is not Lechkov, Stoichkov, Bulgaria. This is very far from that.
Minkyov.
Is up and comer.
Let's see with Lithuania. I don't know anybody on the Lithuania team. Nobody.
But if you think about it, it's not that different than what we've seen Italy do forever. Yeah, they never bury anybody and just put it away. It's always got to be the hard way.
Always.
Not with the Mancini though. Mancini he went a different route. That's why it was like a breath of fresh air. You thought they were done doing that. Instead, it's almost like they went back into their regular.
They're going backwards.
They're going back to their MO. I hope they don't do that because this is the team that struggles against the Faroe Islands and then beats Germany in the Euros.
Beats Germany all the time.
Yeah.
I want to beat Germany. I really need to.
But we always do. Listen, even when we lost to Germany recently in penalties, that wasn't an official game because they didn't beat us in 90 minutes, right? So I have a lot of German friends because I work at a German company. So they try to say that now Germany finally beat Italy, and I said, no, you didn't. You beat us in penalties. It's not the same. You didn't beat us in 90 minutes. So we're still your daddy. We still.
Yeah, we could say the same thing in 2006. We didn't beat them in 90 minutes. We beat them in extra time.
True.
Same thing with France. We beat them in penalties.
Yeah.
But penalties is different than, to me, like the actual extra time. So I think the penalties, I'll give myself the penalty route. I'll go the penalty route, to make my point there.
We beat Lithuania. We go 9 points. We're ready for the Euro. Like I said, I don't think Immobile is. I would start Belotti over Immobile at this point, and let's see how the season ends. And hopefully, it'll end up in a good spot. But yeah, I think Barella makes sense in the midfield. I mean, I think we're gonna have a great midfield, regardless of who goes. Like if you have Locatelli, you have Barella, we have Jorginho, we have Berratti. I mean, we have everybody. I think we're gonna have a very solid out showing. It's just what I'm worried is up front, and that's really my take.
No, I agree, Oscar. I think I would also start Belotti over Immobile too. I like
if he stays healthy. Hopefully he'll be fine. But
let's see what happens. Well,
is there any way they let Immobile play with his Lazio jersey?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. You should put it underneath.
Yeah.
Wear it underneath. Whatever helps him.
It'll be like the keeper having a different jersey, except our striker is going to be wearing a different jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, good stuff tonight, guys. Again, Maurizio, thank you for joining. Oscar,
thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Sorry, less late. Bunch of stuff happening at home. This was impromptu, so.
No worries. We loved having you on, man. Anyway, we'll be back after the Lithuania match, guys, right?
Yes.
All right, everybody. Thank you for the comments, guys. Danny, Frank, Faz, Sebastian, everybody that checked us out. Love you guys. Have a good night.
Forza Milan.